Hello YouTube! Season 4 of Overwatch 2 just released, and along with it, the newest support hero, Lifeweaver. I've been reading a lot of mixed reviews of Lifeweaver online, but after having the chance to play him for a few games, I actually think he's a lot of fun. Sure, he's a bit clunky, but I think that the utility that he brings to the table is very interesting. In this video, I want to discuss my first impression of the hero and my thoughts on him overall. Lifeweaver is a hero like no other in this game. With most support abilities, they provide a slight buff to the team, and that lets them perform better, like Lucio has his speed boost, or Mercy has the DPS boost, but Lifeweaver tosses this whole idea out the window and just yanks his team wherever he wants them to. Obviously, a hero like this is going to have some inherent troll potential. Having the ability to pull your teammate to you is very powerful, but also could be used in a very wrong way if it's not calculated correctly. On top of that, his healing definitely feels a little bit weak right now. It feels like he was intended to be a utility support first, which is great. I'm not dissing that idea in general, but I think that the healing is just underwhelming. Negatives aside, I still think that Lifeweaver is a lot of fun. He may not be the strongest hero in the game, but I definitely think that if you learn how to play him, he could be super impactful for the team. Playing Lifeweaver makes me feel like I have real agency over the team as a support. For once, I'm able to do something about teammates that overextend too deep into enemy lines or find themselves caught off guard by an enemy diver. I think knowing how to activate Life Grip at the best time will be one of the biggest things to learn as Lifeweaver. One thing I immediately recognized is that many heroes are basically able to survive on their own. After all, this is how they've had to play for years. If a diva dives in, she probably has a plan to get herself out. However, in those rare cases when things don't go quite to plan, that's when Lifeweaver is able to shine. Additionally, Lifeweaver's ability means that teammates are able to play a little bit more recklessly than they usually would. This definitely depends greatly on the communication between the Lifeweaver and their team, but there can be some potent results if utilized correctly. I think that Life Grip will be especially useful with teammates that naturally don't have a great way to escape, especially fellow supports. If an ally Ana or Zenyatta gets dove on, oftentimes Lifeweaver being able to pull them out could save their life. I think one of the most interesting components of Lifeweaver in general is that he requires knowledge of how other players on your team are going to think. You need to know, oh, do they want a platform to be on that high ground over there? You need to know, do they want to be pulled out right now? And if you evaluate it incorrectly, you could end up pulling them out at the wrong time and just end up annoying your team. I also think that Lifeweaver's platform is a pretty fun ability. I've enjoyed being able to lift myself high above fights because it tends to provide a safe haven for me to rain down healing from above. Being able to create a high ground advantage basically wherever I want feels great, and it's given me a lot of flexibility in the way I choose to take fights. At first, when I was trying to help my teammates with my platforms, I would try and guess where they were going and then lift them up randomly, and obviously this was not very useful for anyone involved. What I learned to do instead is place the platform where I think it would be useful and then wait to see if anyone uses it. If they do use it, then great. If not, then there's no harm done to anyone on the team. I think that if there were more comms, then I wouldn't have to guess where people wanted platforms, but so far I've only been able to play Lifeweaver in quick play, and there's not much conversation going on in those games. Another interesting use I found for the platform is a pseudo door jam. In certain doorways, if the enemy team activates the platform, it kind of blocks the doorway halfway. This isn't too bad if you're trying to enter the room because you can just jump or crouch over the platform, but if you're trying to get out of the room without completely flipping around, it's kind of awkward and it's usually enough to stop you from getting out. Lifeweaver's ult is also a very interesting ability. The ability to block out a particular sightline is pretty unique among ultimates and can lead to some pretty interesting use cases. The healing it provides is pretty good at keeping anyone within its radius fairly healthy throughout a fight, and I definitely have not accidentally blocked anyone's ults with it so far, and that will definitely not be an issue in the future. Ha 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 ha. Overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy with Lifeweaver so far. I'm pretty interested to see how games go once people start to get a handle on how he's played, and I'm pretty determined to learn him since I think he has a lot of potential that can only be accessed by putting in the time to learn his abilities. That's all for now though. What do you think about the new hero? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next week.